Hi everybody. So right now I'm just adding on more of these beaded fringe to the waistband. When I tell you this took so long, it took so long to do it. I think I've been working on this for about a, let me read that. I've been working on this for about 2 weeks on and off. I was doing a post-construction cleaning job that kind of took me away from it. So now I'm back working on it. And we are, I don't know if I can say almost done, but we're a good portion of the way done. Once I finish these little tassels on the waistband, I just gotta get the ribbon for the side garments put in, as well as embellish them, and then work on the top, which that's a whole other thing. Hi Ramundo. So essentially I have to run this needle. So I attach each like beaded string on one by one, because I do intend on like using this costume to like create dance content. So I attach each one of these beaded tassels one by one, just in case one snaps. I've seen people do beaded fringe where they make them like all connected, and then as soon as one string snaps, the whole thing falls apart. So I feel like adding a little bit more time and effort on this part will just make sure like the outfit is like really sturdy and isn't coming apart after hours of blood, sweat, and tears being put into it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't work hard just to watch something fall apart. I mean, unless you like stacking dominoes. So then I just come through and then I get ready to knot it. I like to wrap my needle around like 4 or 5 times. I put my finger on it just to keep it from like tangling, and then I just pull the needle through. If I can get it. Well, when that happens, I just grab with the pliers and do it that way. So that, you know, you get a nice little secure knot. Alright, so that's one. We gotta do 2 more on that. So far, guys, this is what it's looking like. And I will let you know like what else I have to do. So these are the bottoms. Like you can see that the original bottom girl outfit was like pretty small. So I've added all these beads to it, and then I added a similar color braided ribbon. I braided this by hand, stitched it onto the waistband, and because I was putting on all of these beaded fringe by hand, I ended up having like a lot of waist thread. And what I did with that waist thread was I ended up making these UV resin charms, which each one of these charms literally has thread, glitter, and unused beads in it to create like these little shiny globes. I need to work on that because they're not perfect, but they're gonna be good enough for this because ain't nobody supposed to be that close to me anyway. See how bad these are up close. Okay, what was I doing? All right, we're on this end and we're gonna keep working on these tassels. So I appreciate you guys watching me through this process. When I tell you, it's like I kind of do this to zen out, just relax, you know, help with my anger management issues and stuff like that. Like when you just do the same thing over and over again, it just gives you a chance to shut your brain off. And sometimes I really just need to shut my brain off. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just lost that needle. I'm really sure I just lost that needle. Okay, I did not lose the needle. It is right there. Yay. So, usually when I like stream, I like to listen to music or something, but because of how YouTube is, that is not possible. So when I upload this, I will probably edit it to have some little background music, but for the most part, on a live stream, we're just gonna be working with ambient sounds, which is outside right now. The lovely harmonious sounds of crickets chirping and frogs ribbiting. So what made me want to basically do this was at one point I was about a girl and they forced us, because it was a scam, to buy these bottle girl outfits every week. Like every week we would have to $90 depending on the style of the bottle girl outfit. They were making more from us buying bottle girl outfits than they were actually selling liquor at this place, right? So now I have a whole bunch of stock outfits and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna turn these into something that I would actually want to wear or something. This gives me a sense of peace when life is like totally kicking my ass right now. Like life is doing a number on a lot of people, and it's like sometimes you just need a break from the ass kicking and just sit here and string beads. Well, that's the case for me anyways. How are you guys doing tonight? Hopefully the doggies, well, I knew that was coming. I knew it. I knew it. So I have doogies. Got two Yorkies and a pit bull lab mix. The Yorkies are by far the loudest most of the times, but when the big dog barks, you know, he makes a very loud sound. Luckily, he's not partaking in the chaos that is the Yorkies. So, if you're watching this, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like to do with your hands that are like crafty? Boom. So each one of these little strings is about 5 inches long. I've seen some people do this where they want to count each and every single bead. I'm not doing that. Okay, if you see this, drop a like. It will help me a great deal. You just hit that like button. Um, work with me now. So I will be doing a mixture of like clothing crafts and just like actual art. I love to draw. I love to paint. I love to make stuff with my hands. Essentially, if I see something in my brain, I gotta make it come to life. I gotta take it from my brain and put it in the real life. It's what I enjoy doing. I'm trying to do my best to stay in the camera frame, even though I cannot see it really well. I keep drifting south. So, as you can imagine, I've been putting in a lot of hours on this particular costume. When I was younger, I used to love watching Dancing with the Stars with my grandma and just seeing all the pretty costumes and the fringe. I am like in a big fringe era. Like I have so many beads. Like I have these beads right here. I think they're so pretty, but they're from like Hobby Lobby and they're like kind of cheap. So I'm really hoping that this color stays on it, but I'm not hopeful. But I have so many beads and I'm like, look, I'll put a fringe on everything, okay? A fringe just makes everything better. So one thing I've struggled with as far as content creation goes and is like crafting and DIYs is being put in a box. Like sometimes you feel when you start a YouTube channel, you one thing and one thing only. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I have to get on this app and then do the same thing every time and try to figure out make lessons. Why can't I just do everything that I like to do on my channel without being put into a singular box? Because it's like I understand like from a channel point of view it like looks a little disorganized having all these different interests, but it's like you only get one life. If you like multiple things, do it all. Do it all and do it to the best of your ability. That's the anime fan coming out in me. So, mm, I honestly like at first when I start doing these fringe, I'll be like, yeah, look at that, it's so pretty. But once you get past the 10th one, man, it starts to drag a little bit. It does. So, I actually needles and I absolutely hate them off of Amazon. They are size, I think, 11 needles, which is what you need to like go through these super tiny beads. But when I tell you, threading these things is a freaking pain in the butt because they are very fragile needles. Like, as you can see, the top, or I don't know if you can see it, but you will probably see how hard it is for me to get this thread through this little tiny little needle. You gotta fight it, and it warps the needle. One of them honestly just broke in half, which is why I guess you get 25 for $1 because they know that these needles are gonna break. It's just what's gonna happen. If If you've watched longer than 30 seconds, go ahead and hit the like button. Help out a struggling artist. It's free. So also, one thing I hate about being a girl is nails. Hate them. Hate these things. Like, I like that they look pretty, but I don't like actually like just the lack of functionality. Like, I lose so much nimbleness in my hands with nails on. That's how I feel. Maybe I don't wear them enough. Maybe I just need to keep wearing them until I don't notice them anymore. And after this one, the front side will be finished. But because I noticed that these are kind of stiff, I think I'm gonna just go through and place a stitch where I can like anchor it down to this so it's not flying up all over the place. I think that'll be a good aesthetic addition, which is gonna be irritating to do. I love this board. I love it. It helps make measuring stuff so much easier that I know that each one of these squares is inch. So there's definitely a learning curve to UV resin. It is a lot harder than I thought to get air bubbles out of it. I think I'm gonna start streaming every night because I will be working on something every night, whether it is working on a costume or it is working on art. I will be working on something. I wonder how many people actually have the patience to do something like this. When I was younger, I used to watch my grandmother. She used to have like a whole bunch of embroidery stuff, and I used to try to figure out how she turned those pretty colored threads into pictures. She also used to make me dolls' clothes, and I'm like, Grandma, how do you know how to sew like that? How do you do it? So eventually I tried to start practicing how to sew and make my own doll clothes, which as for a 8-year-old, they came out pretty bad. But eventually I took a home ec class and my sewing got a lot better. This particular thing though looks like crap on the inside because you see all the knots where I put each bead string, and that's just how it's gonna look. Like, I've done this to a few other things, and I just, for the security and integrity of these things not falling off, I just prefer that it look bad on the inside, look good on the outside. I might have to put a stitch like that because that looks bad to me. It does. Alright, we will do that when we come back. So, ooh, yay. That looks pretty darn good if I do say so myself. Looks so pretty. Like, I don't really go to raves, but I will go to a rave just to wear this. Okay, let's start on this side. So the reason why I do 3 loops through the bottom bead is that hopefully if the string does snap, this little anchor bead that I put here will let me see which bead has broken. Like the thread will come out and stop right here, so I can just go ahead and take it off and redo it. So it's kind of like a little indicator bead just in case something snaps. right to eat because I'm hungry. How do I end it? All right, thank you for watching, guys. Bye-bye.